Hello, friends. Welcome back. Like you went somewhere to the Beat the Best podcast. This is your host, Betamax84, here with my sidekick, Sean Watkins. He's a champion, guys. I'm not. I'm not a champion. But what we are here to talk about is the end of 2025. Before we get into that, Sean, how did Christmas treat you, brother? Did you get the GI Joe set that you wanted?
I did not, man. Christmas was fantastic though, but I did reminisce about my favorite Christmas, which was the basketball, the my first pair of Air Jordans, and my flight sweatsuit with the breakaway pants. I will yell that from the rooftops until the day I die. It
Tell
was
me
my
about
favorite
the
Christmas.
tell me about the mics, the Mikey Nikes. Which ones were they?
They were the Air Jordan ones, very first ones, red, white, and black.
Wow.
And guess what, boys and girls? Back then, when I got them, I can't remember the year. They were only $100.
Which is a discount in today's market.
If you can get Jordans for $100, I'm telling you, you are winning. So, yeah,
Yeah, you're
so
doing something.
I had those and wore them every day and until they fell apart. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was the Voltron. You remember
Mm.
Voltron?
Oh,
And
yes, absolutely. Remember Voltron.
yeah, so my grandmother had played us and told us we were never getting one because they were too expensive. And me and my cousin were
Mm.
sick about it. Like, ugh, ain't getting us no Voltron. And then she pulled out on Christmas Day with them joints, two of them. So we had both the Voltron set, right? All the lions. This is when they were cast iron. We, the best Christmas ever.
I know it's
I
crazy.
think I threw the black lion at my cousin's head.
You probably left a mark.
Like I think an
That's
original
crazy.
of one of those goes for like 4 racks now. But yeah,
My God, that's
those are the
insane.
best. Yeah, those are the best Christmas memories. So let's get it. Let's get into it, Sean. We've
Sure.
got 2025 to review. We're just talking about sports and culture, the things that have happened, and it was the highest of the highs in 2025, and
Yes,
also
it
some
was.
of the of the lowest of the lows. So we're gonna start with my first story of the year, which I think we sometimes forget because time passes. Is the Drake and Kendrick Lamar feud that finished with him playing the Super Bowl. I know you wanted to touch on that because most people don't even think about it now.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's crazy to believe that that was pretty much a year ago. I mean, you're coming up going close to a year. I mean, it started that summer of 2024 and then culminated in the Super Bowl performance. And he tore it up. That was one of the better Super Bowl performances that I can remember. Just the energy that you could feel, it was amazing. I loved it. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate Drake. Just by saying that, I think Drake's a great artist, but I would have to say, based on what I saw, battle rap is not his thing.
To say lightly.
Right.
So,
I think you should
yo,
stick to just the backpack Drake and the singing Drake. I think you flip flop between those, keep making your money, and keep it pushing.
yeah, I think if I can remember correctly, it all started with I think Mos Def saying something to the effect that Drake's music was great for shopping. And you remember that? And that it went
Uh,
viral. And then it metastasized into him and another rapper. What's his name? I'm pulling a blank. He ended up apologizing to Kendrick Lamar.
oh, J. Cole, yeah.
J. Cole ended up
Yeah.
apologizing. And then it was just Kendrick and Drake going bar for bar, but it was never close. I mean, Kendrick was just obliterating him every time Drake tried to respond. And then it finished with the Super Bowl. I think we had Samuel Jackson at the Super Bowl. I think was it Venus Williams or Serena Williams was
Oh no,
there?
it was Serena sea walking. Yeah, that did it for me. I'm like, for most of you that may know or may not know, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, so I understand the sea walk very well. And so to see her do that on the stage in front of millions like that, to that song, dissing Drake was out of control. Like it was incredible, man. So
Yeah.
shout out to K Dot for that. But man, what a way to start off the year, right?
Yeah, that was, and it went throughout the year, and it made me realize, like you probably already realized, that there are different types of artists, right? Kendrick Lamar
Sure.
is a hip hop artist, is a battle rap artist, and
Right.
Drake is a radio artist.
I would definitely agree. He is
He makes
definitely
hits
a
for the
radio
radio.
artist. He makes it. I
Congrats, you.
mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with that. So, I want people to really be clear on that. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, leave that battle rap and stuff alone, man. That guy Kendrick is he's one of one definitely, but he's in there with the famous battle rappers that we know. You
Mm-hmm.
got your LL Cool J's and I think
Cannabis.
Cannabis. You got your Jay-Z and Nas, with their
Ice
little beef
Cube.
that they had. Ice Cube and
No Vaseline.
the whole NWA crew. That was,
Yeah.
to me, I'm biased because I'm from South Central, but that's the coldest and the hardest diss record I've ever heard in my life. Because he
So
dissed the
cold.
whole crew. Like he didn't just diss one person. He went in and went line, just down the line, verse for verse. It was, yeah. There's nothing like it. So no Vaseline. Shout out to Ice Cube.
And they played that on the radio. They played No Vaseline on the radio, the edit anyway. And I just remember, like,
Yeah.
this is egregious. Like, they're playing this on the radio. So yeah, Ice Cube. Ice Cube will never hear this, but yo, No Vaseline is one of my favorite disc records.
Oh man.
100%. So moving on into our next 2025 moment. This is obviously for all the sports fans out here. The Luka Doncic trade for Anthony Davis in the middle of the night, like thieves in the night, has got to
God.
be one of the biggest sports stories of recent history. The last sports story I recall being that big, and I try not to be hyperbolic because it's easy to be a prisoner of the moment, was when they traded Shaq from Orlando to LA.
Right.
I think that's
Right.
the last time people were just like, yo, what? Shaq is going to be a Laker.
Right. Did Shaq actually get traded, or did he just sign as a free agent?
I
I'm
think
not
he's
sure.
I can't be sure. I'll look it up while you're talking, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that
yeah, but that
that
was
he
pretty
signed.
huge. Yeah, that was pretty huge. Yeah, that was, but yeah, that nothing compares to that because here you got Luca. He's in his, he's probably not in his prime yet, but he's approaching it. It's 25, 26. And I'll tell you, when I first heard it, uh, my son came in. He's like, "Oh my God, the Lakers just traded AD for Luca," and I go, "Stop playing." I'm like getting ready to get mad at my son because I think he's playing tricks on me. He's lying to me. And then I kept checking, and then all of a sudden, it was confirmed, and I'm like, "What?" And I really didn't. I don't know about you, but I didn't know how to feel about it as a Laker fan. I liked AD and like I said, don't get me wrong. Getting Luca is great, but I'm like, it's one of those things. I mean, how did you feel? I felt like I don't know, but I wanted to feel good, but I didn't know it was. I'm still like that. I'm still kind of like it's still weird to say. So how did you feel? Like I still kind of like shake my head at it.
I mean, there's so much to weigh in on that. First, the housekeeping. You have a mind like a steel trap. Shaq was traded as a. I'm sorry, he was signed as a free agent because
Mhm.
the Magic kept lowballing Shaq, and I think Alonzo
Right.
Mourning was making more money than him, and the
Hmm.
Lakers said, "We'll give you everything." So it wasn't even a trade; it was a free agent signee.
Reach
When
me.
when I look at that trade, I man, I still don't know what to think about it because on the surface the Lakers make out like bandits because you get a generational player in Luka Doncic. He's averaging like 35 points a game right now. He's out of his mind. And Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. It's just not something he's good at. It's like I'm really not good at crocheting. He's not good at staying healthy.
That's hilarious. crocheting.
Like,
I don't think anybody's good at crocheting, right?
well,
I don't
the
know.
people who practice crocheting are, Anthony Davis is not good
Oh,
at staying healthy, nor am I good at crocheting. And so when I
oh my
look at it on
goodness.
the surface, I'm like, wow, the Lakers have been out like bandits. But then I look at Luka's defense sometimes, and I look at his effort on the defensive end, and I get frustrated because it's like, how do you give a guy like that $300 million, which is frustrating. But that's the current financial windows of the NBA, so you kind of have to cut that check. And then there's the big what if thing. Well, what if Anthony Davis stays healthy? But that's the what if that's never going to happen. Just like, what if I grow a third eye in the middle of my forehead? It's highly unlikely, So at the end of the day, they fired the guy. They fired the GM for it, and they had to.
Yeah, because you don't do that. Like I don't care how out of shape he is. Basically you have a meeting, and you say, listen, we need you to commit to being in shape. We need you to commit to these things during the season. But you just don't essentially give away a generational talent. I mean, like you said about AD, sending him over there and AD's a great player. We've spoken about this ad nauseum. If he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in this league because he does
Hmm.
everything. But that's the big if, he doesn't stay healthy. So you get a guy like Luka who, if he as long as he stays in shape and gives effort, we're okay with it. But I'm a big Laker fan, and I've been watching, and early on his effort was great. I think it might have tailed off a little bit. Um, it kind of well, it's not might have, it has tailed off a little bit his effort defensively.
Yeah.
Hopefully JJ can get them back in line, but it's one of those things. Right now. I think the Lakers got the longer end of the stick, if you will. They basically got what they needed to get so far. But you know, this league deals in championships. We want championships, especially the Lakers. A historic franchise like that, they want championships. So only time will tell. If we don't get a championship out of this during Luka's tenure, that will be the telltale sign of whether it was a good trade or not. Right now, early returns, yeah, we got the better of the deal because, like I said, Anthony Davis can't stay hurt. But only time will tell. And we still got a long season to go, so we can, hopefully the Lakers and Luka can turn it around. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about a race, it damn sure isn't a sprint. It's a
No,
marathon. I think we need to compare these two organizations over the next 5 years. Over the next
I
5 years,
agree.
who's gonna be closest to winning a championship, if not win a championship? And now that fortune, air quotes, has gone in Dallas's favor with the Cooper Flag acquisition, um, they look really good and set for the future. So I guess time will tell. But they
Right,
fired Nico for it, and it absolutely seems to have worked in the Lakers' favor. To your point, right?
right, right, right. Uh, it's crazy. Like I said, I still shake my head at that. I can't believe it as a Laker fan. Hey, I'll take it, but only time will tell. And here's the crazy thing: in the next 5 years, AD will not be playing. At least he probably won't be playing for at the very least he won't be playing for the Mavericks in the next 5 years. In my opinion, I don't think so. I don't think if
Sean,
he's having injuries now, I don't think he's going to be playing. I think he's either going to get traded or he'll retire before. But Luca will be 31, so technically in his prime. So we'll see.
I think a brilliant man named Sean Watkins once told me that the best ability is availability, and
Absolutely, that is my saying.
Anthony Davis struggles in that department to be available. He just really
Yeah,
struggles. So if we're just talking about availability, you got to go Luca because he's more
right.
available than Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis played the other day and had a soft tissue injury in his leg while running. I'm just like, bro, you're prime. When I was your age, I was unstoppable. How are you this prone to injury at this young of an age?
Right. Well, I mean, there's could be a lot of things attributed to that. My own personal take is guys nowadays, especially him, they don't play basketball. It's a lot of training and workouts with a trainer, and but you gotta to get those muscles strong to be used to those type of the cutting and the pivoting and turning and stuff like that. You got to play basketball in the off season, and that could be a topic for another day. But he's not doing that in off season. There's something that's missing in his off season, because you shouldn't have an off season where you pretty much didn't have any injuries. I think he had eye surgery, which is still bad enough, but you shouldn't be coming into a season and here you are 25, 30 games into it, and you've got basically two injuries that have kept you out
It's
already.
unusual.
And it's
Yeah, it's unusual.
December.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking February or March, okay, I get it. You've played a good amount of games. The season's you're getting towards that last quarter of the season. I could see where those injuries would take place, but you're in essentially the second month of the season, so the first quarter of the season, and you've already missed time because of two separate injuries. So something's not happening in the offseason with his conditioning, workout, muscle, strength training. I don't know what it is, but it just
Diet,
hasn't been
something.
working for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't know, so that's
We
my
don't know
opinion
what
on
it
it.
is, but we can both agree that something's not right.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's no way. Because what is Anthony Davis? 31, 32, maybe? I
Yeah,
don't,
he's in his early
somewhere around
early
there.
30s. Yeah.
Early 30s, yeah. I wasn't in the greatest of shape, but when I was in my early 30s, I was never getting hurt like that. And if I
Right.
did, it was a twisted ankle, maybe a pulled hamstring, but I'm still playing on it the next day, learning how to play with it. And as it heals, I'm still, running up and down and still being effective. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our next 2025 story. Again, it's so easy to forget how deep we were into this storyline. Was Taylor Swift hanging out with Kansas City Chiefs, which led to the engagement of a lifetime. We've got Taylor Swift getting engaged to
Yes.
what he says is one of the best football players of all time, Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Oof, I don't know. I
Let me
don't make
start
that.
off by
Hold on. Let me
saying,
finish. Let me finish. What is
okay.
making that face because of their engagement? Listen. I want everyone to be happy. I don't care if you're marrying somebody who lays brick or who drives a bus. If they make you happy, they make you happy. Okay. I merely said
Facts.
Travis Kelsey's proclamation that he's one of the best football players to ever live. I thought was a bit heavy-handed. But
Mm.
what did you think about that? The Taylor Swift effect on the Kansas City Chiefs this year. It's hard to believe, right, that was this year. How do you feel about that?
Initially I'm like, okay, great, and it's nice to see people who are, like Travis Kelsey. He might go down as one of the top five tight ends to ever play the game, and there's been some great tight ends. So I'll give him that. I don't know about the greatest. There's some people that will have something to say about it. And then she is absolutely the best at what she does. I mean, she's got her basically her fans are called Swifties,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
And so it's like, but for me, it was hard because here's the thing, as a football fan, I want to watch the game. I want to see the players play. I want to see them make plays. When she came into the picture, I didn't know if we were watching the Kansas City Chiefs play or if we were watching, let's see what facial expression Taylor Swift's going to make next.
yeah,
Because every time, and I understand, it's a marketing thing. She's Taylor Swift, and so anytime the NFL, which is a multi-billion-dollar business, can get someone else who is a multi-billion-dollar business in herself, you know what I mean? Why not try to
yeah.
capitalize on that? So we're going to show her as much as possible. So it was one of those things where it was hard for me to watch because one, as a Raider fan, I don't like watching my AFC division rival in the way AFC West division rival. I don't like watching them succeed. And now you get Travis Kelsey, who's got everything, got the Super Bowls, got the numbers, is going to the Hall of Fame, and then now he gets to be with Taylor Swift, and they get to soar all over the TV. So as a Raider fan, I want to throw up in my mouth. It makes me sick. But I understand it. But it was hard to watch. I didn't want to see her facial expressions every time Mahomes threw. Kelsey the ball. I didn't want to see that. Why? I'm like, why? And you
Yeah.
explained it to me. We had a conversation, and it was like, it was so, it was hard to watch. I'm like, I want to watch this good game, but I don't want to see her every time okay, there's Taylor. Oh, she's laughing with Travis's mom. Oh my God. Like, what are we doing? Is this a football game or what's going on? So that was my take
Yeah.
on it.
I think your take is spot on. I think my viewpoint was different coming from entertainment, understanding that that's what the producers wanted to do. Taylor Swift is such a big star that through no fault of her own, she's going to generate that type of reaction and visceral reactions from fans, but it's not her fault. I mean, she just was going there to support her boyfriend. There's lots of girls that were in the crowd there to support their boyfriends or husbands that don't get the same treatment because they're not Taylor Swift. So you can't blame her for that. On a separate note, I actually really like Taylor Swift. I like
Mm,
her as an American artist. I like the fact that she writes her own music. And I like the fact that she did it from the feet up. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think very few artists understand their fan base as well as Taylor Swift, except for maybe Beyonce. Beyonce really understands her fan base, understands marketing. Those
yeah,
two, I think, are top of the food chain at understanding who their marketing is. And I also like the way
true.
Travis took his shot. He shot his shot at Taylor Swift. You can't be mad. He sent her a friendship bracelet with his number on it, like, yo, holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad about that. I personally am not a fan of Travis Kelsey. I think he's an annoying goose knuckle, but I still do. I still do appreciate the fact that he actually shot his shot, and I think that should be a memo to men everywhere that no woman is outside of your purview if you find them attractive and if you can treat them well. So there's a lot of good stories there. To your point, the annoyance happens when the producer keeps cutting to Taylor Swift after every touchdown or first down. And that's a producer issue. Like, why? Why are we cutting to
Right.
her so often? And it only makes the fans hate her guts unless you live in Kansas City because those guys, they will literally cheer for anything covered in red and yellow, including hot dogs and mustard. They love their Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. So
Absolutely.
that story kind of ran out of control. And I think Travis and Taylor did the best they could to control the narrative in their own relationship.
Yeah, I agree. They did a tremendous job of doing that. But like I said, you've being in that realm that you've been in terms of advertising and marketing, and so I get it. I really do understand it now. But it was so annoying, and I'm not. I admire Taylor Swift for what she's done and to build her fan base. But I can't tell you. I might be able to, if I hear a song, I might be able to tell you one or two of her songs, but I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I don't listen to that, her types of music, but I hear it's great and that's great for her. But like I said, I want to watch football. I want to be annoyed at the Kansas City Chiefs just because
Yes.
they're the Chiefs,
And I want to
not
root for
for,
them to
you
lose.
know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not to see her pop up on the screen. So, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at Taylor Swift's music, it isn't made for us in our genre or age group.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we
Hmm.
can't appreciate its greatness. I think her album
True.
1989 was probably one of the best pop albums that's ever been made from a pop standpoint. That being said, I'm not really her core demo, but I appreciate that she writes her own music.
Right.
Any artist that writes their own music for me is a big deal. So
Yeah. Not an
understanding
easy
that
thing to
she,
do, by the way, either. So not an easy thing to do, to write your own, to understand and feel what is good music. So to write it and then feel it and then put it out, and then for it to become, to people to really like it and catch on. That's not an easy thing to do. So kudos to her, though. I give her props for that.
this is why songwriters get paid so much. So sticking around with this chief story from 2025, we have a rise to power and a fall from grace from the same team. In 2025, everyone was terrified of playing the Chiefs, and now here we are at the end of 2025, and we look a year later, and the Chiefs are literally out of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes has a torn ACL, and the dynasty is quote unquote over, just like that. There was a
Yeah.
time when they were saying that Patrick Mahomes is going to be better than Tom Brady. I remember wanting to punch people in the face whenever they would say that because I felt like it was such a disrespectful thing to say about Tom Brady. And I was never the biggest Tom Brady fan when he played, but I appreciated the greatness of what he did. I didn't
Right.
become a fan until he went to Tampa Bay, and I was like, oh my God, he's a goat. And then you're trying to put Patrick Mahomes in that same stratosphere, and he just isn't. And now he has to deal with injury and come back, and the team has to find a way to build into winning. So I want to know what you thought about that as the Chiefs have gone from feared to uncared for.
I must say, as I smile, misery loves company. So I'm a miserable. Did I choke you up there? I'm sorry,
Oh
buddy.
God, God.
I am a miserable Raiders fan. We haven't done
Oh,
anything in years, and so to see the hated Chiefs not do anything, they've been so good for so long, and what have they won three, three, 3 out of 5 times going to the Super Bowl or
yeah,
something
they have
crazy
how
like
many?
that?
Yeah, they have a significant amount of championships, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, this is so to see him, and I hated to see Patrick Mahomes go down. I think he's one of the greats. He will go down in the history as maybe the greatest of all time. I think he's a great quarterback. His improvisation out there, able to make plays and able to do things. I think it's fantastic. So he's great. I hate him because he's a chief, but as far as a football player, I respect what he can do. He's very good at what he does. So so my thing is, it's sad, but dynasties come to an end. Nobody, I mean, nobody wins forever.
Yeah,
You know what I
especially
mean? Because
without the helps of the ref. It's hard to win without the refs on your side.
oh, oh, we getting into something else there. I'm not going to speak on that. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna let you have that, Mr. Betamax84. But anyway, like I was saying before, winning it just comes to an end. You try to put the team together, and the Chiefs, everybody was saying, oh, they're gonna go back, but the season is different. That's why they play the games. You can't really, you know what I'm saying? You can't really say, okay, just because they're on paper, they look good. They got the same team that went to the Super Bowl and lost. Things change. Players get older. That's the biggest thing. They
Yeah,
get older. Teams get better. They
around
get
you. Yeah,
younger. They get better. They figure out, okay, this is what we got to do to beat them. And their sole purpose. Everybody in the AFC is coming at you because you won the AFC.
yes,
So they're like, we gotta come get you, and that's every year. So, and it, shout out to them. It's a testament to how good they were. But it's gonna come to an end because injuries happen. Unfortunately, players get older. Other teams get better. Like I said. So
management changes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So, that's what I thought about it. Listen, it's a changing of the guard. There's other teams out there in the AFC that are coming along that been right there on the cusp of getting there, and the Chiefs have stopped them, and now the Chiefs are no longer in their way. So now it's up for grabs, which is great. It makes for better football, in my opinion. I like dynasties when they happen for the teams I like,
yeah.
but
I
outside
like
of
your
that,
honesty.
yeah, I mean, trust me. But outside of that, parity is key. That makes us want to watch when other teams that you never heard of, or not never heard of, but you don't pay attention to, are all of a sudden in the mix with an opportunity to win. That's what makes sport in general so amazing because the parity of it all. So that's kind of how I feel about with what's going on with them.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you look at it, it's just nothing lasts forever. They got three chips in the Mahomes era. I think at best they'll get one more, and you're still going to be three behind Brady. I just never liked that comparison. On to our last viral moment of the year. I'm finishing off with this one because it went so nuts, and everyone was talking about it. It's the Coldplay Kiss Cam.
Ooh,
If if
spicy.
if being caught out there was a person. So for those who have probably forgotten, you had a CEO out with his HR director at a Coldplay concert, and they were hugged up in the stands, and the and the camera went to them and put them on the jumbotron, and they got shook. They got shook and tried to
Mm,
dip and dive out the way and got embarrassed, and it immediately went viral. Had they done nothing, it probably would not have gone viral. But it ended up going viral, ended up costing her job, him his job, and his marriage, and fallout all across the internet. Sean, what did you think about that viral moment of 2025?
Man, my mother had a saying, I think a lot of mothers had a saying when you get too big for your britches, old country saying. And I think that's what happened, man. It's just it's unfortunate, but I mean, you gotta be smarter than that. I mean, come on. Obviously, they're smart. I think she was the head of HR. He's the CEO of the company. Come on.
Which is
I
an
mean,
HR
first of all, don't,
violation.
yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, how ironic is that? Y- you're not supposed to fraternize with your coworkers. That's rule number one in the HR handbook. So here she goes, and she's with the CEO. Well, oh, it's okay. Like I said, getting too big for your britches. You're thinking you're bigger or you're above those type of things. And the CEO, same thing. Like you know better. You don't crap where you eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what. So when I saw that, and I go, oh, first I first I go, how idiotic and stupid that is. And which it is. But then you start thinking about the aftermath. You start thinking about the families on the other
Yeah.
end, the wife and the kids. And so the embarrassment, that's what really got me, because it's like, man, the embarrassment of it. It's like, man, you embarrassed. Here you are, this big time CEO. You got a great life. You got wife, beautiful kids. And then you go and you basically throw it away for a viral moment at a Coldplay concert. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I
Yeah,
mean,
Sean, I don't know if you're going to like my take.
I, I'm probably gonna like it because it's you, and I know how you are.
I didn't think about the aftermath as much because life is by nature messy. People make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, people make bad decisions all the time. I like to say compounded bad decisions are the ones that end up getting you.
Hmm.
It'd be one thing if he was having an affair and he got caught out there between his wife, or
Hmm.
someone else had found out and caused some local backlash. The
Sure.
compounded decision was taking Shorty to a Coldplay concert. By the way, Coldplay tickets aren't cheap, so that was a
Hmm.
splurge, which means wifey
Right.
was at home with the kids while you were out there with Shorty at Coldplay. That's a compounded mistake, Playboy. You know,
Right.
I get it. You was creeping. I don't know what's going on with at home. I don't know. We don't know. But I do know that you made a
Right.
mistake. But to be out there like that at a Coldplay concert, that's a major bad look.
Yeah. It really is, man. And I think, I mean,
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
it's gonna
hold
be
on. I got something else to finish this with.
okay. So, okay.
This is also the part that blew my mind the most. The cosmic odds that the camera would find them and put them on the big screen and they shouldn't have been there together. Life is funny like this. When you're doing something you shouldn't do, eventually you're going to get jammed up. I've been a
Right.
victim of it. Victim, not a victim. I've went through it. I think other people have went through it. Even though the odds are infinitesimal. Like, what are the odds that somebody would walk into this restaurant that I'm cheating on my wife with when the 1,000 restaurants in the city? That's just the way life works. There's the camera could have hit I don't know how many of the couples that were there, but it hit y'all, and y'all reacted
Right.
and made everybody look weird, and now here you are.
Absolutely right. You know what happens in the dark definitely comes into the light all the time. And so that's, when you think about that, and people don't think about that. Like I said, too big for your britches. They're out there just living their lives like, oh, we're untouchable. And boom, they scan by, they see you guys all hugged up, and then you guys add insult to injury by trying to hide. So, oh my God, they saw us.
Yikes.
It's just because honestly, I think if he doesn't do that, maybe it's not that big of an issue. I mean, and now your wife sees it, and then she may go on and go on a rant, but the whole world, it doesn't go viral at it, with that.
I think had
So
they just
they
stood
see it.
there, Yeah, had they just stood
Yeah,
there and did nothing, it wouldn't have gone viral.
exactly. That's my thing. And I'm like, here's the thing, man. If you're gonna, I'm not condoning this by any means, but if you're gonna, you're going with someone that's a coworker, go with a group of coworkers. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Make it,
We're all
make it a
going to
group.
Coldplay, all of the whole
Yeah,
company.
yes, let's all go. Like, make it a field trip. It's a team bonding exercise.
We're all going to Coldplay. I don't even like Coldplay, but we're all going. I got us all
We're
tickets.
going. I mean, come on, man. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, let's be. If you're gonna do, I don't condone it, but if you're gonna do that, you can't be all hugged up with the chick, knowing you've got a whole family at home waiting for you to get back home. You can't do that. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I think he probably felt
but
invincible, and he ended up getting caught out
yeah,
there. So,
yeah,
Sean, we're running short on time here.
sure.
To close, we're closing out 2025. Been a hell of a year, right? Survival sometimes is winning when you have
Mhm.
struggles. Lord knows I know that. What are your predictions for 2026? We'll start with a simple prediction. Give me who you think is going to be Super Bowl champion. That's because that's coming right around the corner. 2026.
God, it's that's an impossible question. I really don't know. Like,
But
it's so
there's
wide
no
open.
downside to being wrong. No one cares.
Oh no, I know, but well, here's the thing. I honestly don't know. There's so many teams out there that are playing real well, going into the playoffs. Honestly, I don't know. I'm
Fair
thinking.
enough.
I will tell you this. I'll tell you that coming out of the AFC, I think the Patriots got a real strong chance. And anybody who knows me knows I hate the Patriots. I
Yo.
hate them, but I think they got
Yeah.
a strong chance to get to the Super Bowl.
And at a
And
thousand
then
to one
in
odds, friends, it's not a bad money bet.
Yeah. And then in the NFC, you're going to think I'm crazy and you're going to hate me because I'm not picking your 49ers. Um, I think they're on a great momentum swing, and this sounds crazy, but I think the Bears may make it out of the NFC.
If the Bears win the Super Bowl, Chicago will be burned down.
I
Chicago
know.
fans aren't ready for that.
I can't. It's like I said, I can't predict who will win it. I will say I could actually see the Bears going up against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and it would be a great game. But I don't know. My prediction, I just don't have one because I don't know. I know it wouldn't. I could just say anything, but it just wouldn't be heartfelt because I have no clue. So,
Well, I mean, your Bears Patriot take isn't far off from what I was going to say. My prediction is I think the Patriots could win it all because no one's really talking about them. And Drake May is absolutely one of the better
oh,
quarterbacks in the
he's
league. And
incredible.
I say that as a Niners fan. I'll also give another prediction. I don't think Anthony Davis finishes this season with Dallas. I think he'll be with somebody else.
Hmm.
And I think
I
they're going to have to give Joker the MVP again. Those are my predictions for 2026.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree. I think. Well, let me change it. I think Anthony Davis is probably going to finish the season. I think he'll finish the season. I don't think he'll be traded.
On his feet?
I know yeah, I think I'm serious. I'll be honest. I think he's on his feet. He's going to finish the season. I don't know if he's going to be hurt or not, but he'll finish the season with the Dallas Mavericks, and then I think they'll revisit it. I think Joker becoming MVP definitely is a strong possibility. I have another take on that. Um, I think Giannis is no longer a buck in 2026. I think he
Good one.
leaves. I think they trade him somewhere. I'm thinking New York, which would really suck for Cat,
Oh
but
my
Cat's been
God.
playing well. But I think, yeah, I think Giannis is I don't think he's going to be a buck this after before the for the rest of the season. I think at the trade deadline, the Bucks are going to figure something out. So that's my prediction for 2026.
Well, you heard it here, guys. We've got Drake May and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We've got Giannis in New York. I've got Joker for the MVP. Those are our 2026 predictions. Friends, be safe out there. If you're going to go ahead and drive, don't drive drunk. Don't be an idiot. Grab yourself an Uber or Lyft or a friend or something. Most cities have free transportation on New Year's Eve, so please be careful. As always, share this podcast and videos with your friends and enemies because they like stuff too, especially if it's from you. And man, I hope everyone out here the best of 2026. Sean, any last words?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what you just said. Everybody be safe out there. Have a great and prosperous new year. Enjoy yourselves, but not to the extent where you hurt someone else. So enjoy. Have a great, happy new year. I know I'm going to, and we'll see you in 2026.
Yes, sir. See you on the flip side. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.